very good afternoon to all of you present here. My name is Deboshmita Mukherjee and I am studying in the National Institute of Education Planning and Administration. I am completing my master's program, which is Masters in Education Planning and Development. First of all, I would like to thank everybody present here for giving me this opportunity and for getting us all gathered here, people who are so fascinated and into the system of bringing education and technology and combining education and technology together. So we all are here at the same forum. Now, that was all with the greeting and the thanks. I'll start with my work now. So, I have heard so many presentations from the morning and I am the last one, so I am getting a little overwhelmed. Now, the presentation which I have prepared today is from chalkboards to chatbots and the role of education and technology and AI tool in fostering student development. So what I wanted to focus here mainly was on to check, evaluate, and most importantly, merge the conventional methods of classroom instruction with the traditional method, with the new, like the traditional methods of teaching using a slate and chalk, and with the newer technology, like the technology which has come up with an effective plan of action in the field of education technology. So we cannot give away the fact that we come from a place where we've seen great teachers who were gurus, like Guru Dronacharya, who trained Eklavya, and then he asked for his thumb. So we come from a place, Aryabhat, another great sage who was also a teacher. So we cannot forget the fact that we come from a place like this. But now teachers are not mere gurus anymore. The role of teachers have completely changed from just from being a mere source of information or mere source of knowledge to a lot of other roles. But typically, the role of a teacher would be to teach the subject, so that maybe they can score well in examinations. However, the focus now, today, teachers are planning managers, counselors, psychologists, diplomats. There are so many roles that we as teachers are playing and we as teachers are seeing. So I have divided my work into the shift of diaspora in education, the methodology and problems, and last is the key findings. I have brought something over here, which is the like when I was young, something which I really didn't like writing was spellings. So I had to go up, and I used to wonder that my teacher is teaching it's BAT bad, so it should be BAT. But why are we writing, like, why is it said as that? So later the concept of phonics turned up. Now the concept, the ECCE, with the development of Balvatikas, Anganwadis, there is so much which has changed, and the phonics have come up, like then these things have come up, these things have changed, and there is a difference. There are two things which I have showed here. The spellings we are writing in slate and chalk, and the teacher is teaching, whereas here with the help of AI, with the help of technology, we've brought up a newer way of writing. Like, we can see how the kid is interested. I'll just play a very small clip of a few seconds. We can watch it here. So even here we are doing spellings, even here we are doing the same thing, but so much has changed with the system, so much has changed with the way of we are doing it. We can see the happiness. So it's not just mere teaching anymore, it's also learning which is being fostered. It is also learning which is kept into consideration. So first, the very first time that AI that we learned, it is not just now that the advancement of technology has started. It is right from when EduSat, the first satellite, was launched, and we used to see these programs in Doordarshan and Gyan Darshan, and when Madhavan Nair, Sir Madhavan Nair, he was the first one who, like, we started with rote learning, and then MMT networks. We had GSLV. The more advanced technology, and he said us that let us use maximum capacity of EduSat. Now, whether we are being able to use the maximum capacity of EduSat or not is the main question which I would like to put forward here. And since the topic for today is problematizing education and technology, so let's move forward to problematizing of education technology. I've put some traditional classroom, the background of tradition, which was more teacher centric, and the standardized curriculum was there, fixed learning environments were there, the limitations would be lot of spoon feeding was there. But now, if we know to ask questions, we can say that AI will give us the answers if the chat GPT is there. But if the questions are posed in such a way, like CFUs, check for understanding questions, there are certain patterns of questions. If we ask questions in that way to the students, I think even no chat GPT in the world can answer those questions. Those are questions, they will have answers to those questions. Now, problematizing education and technology. Problematizing is not finding problems. The word problematizing actually means finding problems so that we can find solutions to those problems. So here we are sitting together, we are all gathered here to find solutions and best possible solutions to problems that we are facing. Now, I would like to quickly go into my research paper. All of these are discussed, pandemic and how it started, the pre-pandemic. I just work with my core area now. So my research methodology was in my alma mater, my school, St. Agnes's Convent, which is a small, which is in a district in West Bengal. And the sampling method I chose was simple random sampling, questionnaires, interviews, and I started with tools and techniques. Pie charts and bar graphs what I used to put forward my findings, and it was from 60 respondents, and they were from various classes, from various grades. Now, primary data was the secondary data and primary data. I also gathered some secondary data, but today I'm going to focus on how what was my primary data, how I traveled, what was my findings from there, and so my research objectives were to assess the digital learning, its impact, to understand the contribution and significance of digital learning, to know about the different strategies, to analyze the role of edtechs, and to merge the traditional classroom setup with rapidly blooming edtech platforms. Because as you said, as I had seen, I have also worked partially with a lot of edtech platforms and seen how they are using the systems, how they are using. They have we had wonderful LMS, learning management system, as somebody also spoke about it, and what everything was monitored here, the teacher talk time ratio, the student talk time ratio. So this may be the reasons why everybody was so enthusiastic about these learning managements, about these platforms. So if we could merge these platforms. Later these platforms turned out to just extract money from the money making was mainly what was a problem which was seen. So if we could use both these platforms, we can combine both these systems. The whole idea of learning became like it started with, it has now become money making. So I have also wanted to analyze the challenges faced in adoption of technology and provide ground level solutions for its better adoption. Now, moving ahead with some data which I have, what I have seen is when I went for, first of all, it was this screen which was doing the talking. Either it's the teacher talking or it was the screen talking. There was no interaction between the kids. There was no interaction between the student and the kid. So when I was young, my teachers used to tell me the story of how, like, the periodic table, and we used to, in the form of a story, like in the form of the fox jumped, like that, we used to memorize it. But somewhere or the other, I felt that was missing from the teachers. The students, the other students were like from the lower background, from the younger age, they were doing good, they were learning this. But as soon as we moved to the higher levels, I think somewhere it decreased. Then the next thing which I saw, that children were memorizing how to use the functions of AI. Like, if I ask them that how would you upload something, they start the computer, go to start and go to desktop and press this. So again, with what happened with maths, what we used to do, they were memorizing how to use the AI tools. So that was
Sorry to interrupt, Debasmita. Can you quickly move on to your conclusion and key findings?
Yes, I would.
Major findings.
Yes, I would. Thank you so much. I would quickly move on to the conclusion and the major findings. So my conclusion would be that we cannot live without technology. Change is the only constant, as it is also said in Bhagavad Gita. And education is dynamic, it will be changing all the time. We cannot let go of it, but we have to bring something which is very synchronous, and which is we can move with both hybrid models, with both technology and with both that human touch, that human interaction, the teachers coming. So we have to make a balance of both of them. So my suggestions would be that we can establish some learning centers, as I have also done, which is called Spardha, where the students of St. Agnes, we all gather together and we learn, because some are Bengali and they can't understand English. So we can have volunteers who can translate the language. We can have volunteers who can add subtitles and captions, so that it can be everybody can understand it. Providing mobile based solutions, because which is low cost, and offline versions can be available, and proper digital literacy program, because training is the key. We have to have good research, good platforms where we can have better trainings. And in conclusion, I would like to say that the impact of edtech industry in the education system is multifaceted. It is nuanced. We can't leave that away, but bridging the gap between edtech and rural communities is most important, because they have so much indigenous knowledge. When I visited the Garo tribe of Assam, I am asthmatic, so when I visited there, I saw that they had wonderful knowledge, the herbs that they were using and the ways they were taking it. I think it was wonderful. So if we could use those knowledge, if we could promote that knowledge with the integration of technology, I think we will be doing great. And I would end by saying that we need technology in every classroom and in every student and teacher's hand, because it is the pen and paper of our time, and it is the lens through which we experience much of the world. To everybody present here, we are from the Gram generation. Everybody of us are using Instagram. Everybody over here, nobody can deny the fact that we are using Instagram and Facebook. So next time when you visit a place, like I visited Bodh Gaya, and little did I know that the Fagu River was an oxbow lake which was just behind me. So when you click a picture, when you go somewhere like this, let us also write 3 lines about where we have visited and what is it. And if you see an oxbow lake, like I had seen an oxbow lake, I posted like that. So it will also be very educational for all of us. Thank you.